Okay guys, so this is one of my last rides with my GSXR1000R. I just noticed I was going to kind of do maybe a high speed run just to see what this thing was capable of with the tune and document it. And I'm just not going to feel safe going above maybe 130 on this thing with the tire the way it looks. But let's just kind of cruise, talk a little bit, and I could go get my GSX8R right now, but I think I'm going to take this guy home first so I can kind of take my time saying goodbye. But again, right now I'm in a little town. I went and got a little soy chai latte, foo-foo drink. If I want, I can turn this thing by depressing the mode button, put it in a C mode. There's another sport bike that went by. And now I'm in a little bit more cruise comfort mode. Pretty hot out actually, but the air temp is probably in the 70s, so really nice compared to what we had. And yeah, that's it. So it's going to be weird to be not on this bike and be on something like the GSX8R. Way more chill, way less rowdy and aggressive, but at the same time I think it will be kind of fun just to have a different experience. And that's that. I don't know if I should take the highway home or the back roads. I think the back roads are the way to go. But this bike has been a ton of fun, and I just kind of want to do a little video because I'm not going to go super ballistic on the way home like I thought I may do, and just kind of cruise and chill and just enjoy the back roads in the country and not risk having a bad tire go out on me or something. So don't want to go out like that. And it's definitely not easy to do these when you're hot in your helmet. Let me try to go and I'll wait. But this bike has been a lot of fun. Super fun to kind of experience the 1000, the leader bike, once again after being a long time without one. Just to hear the exhaust and feel the power and have that amazing handling. I mean, you can just kind of cruise. I mean, this is what you should be doing, not doing burnouts with the bike. You should be leaning it over and having fun with it and utilizing the traction control and some of the electronics that are on board. But, you know, it's kind of the newbie thing. You do burnouts, you just kind of make everyone look at you, and it's loud, and the guy had no exhaust on it. Just kind of kooky, but at the same time, we've all been there. And no judgment, but like right now, just cruising, if you kind of keep your hand open and kind of your palm on the throttle, you can do little things that may make this a little bit more, you know, comfortable while you're riding. I'm in 4th gear doing 40 in C mode, and you know, I can shift in the 5th and just kind of chill. But the other bike is going to be totally different, and I'm not going to try to miss out too much on this and just appreciate and enjoy a new experience and be grateful that I have the opportunity to ride 2 really cool bikes, 2 new Suzukis, the GSX8R. I have an Akrapovic full system on it. I got a Yoshimura fender eliminator kit. And I wanted the reverse to shift linkage because I have GP shift on this guy and I'm super comfortable with it already. And apparently on the GSX8R you can't easily do the reverse shift with the stock setup without buying, I guess Woodcraft makes a full rear set, which is like $600. And even though I don't want to ride street shift because I'm so used to going 1 up, 5 down, I may have no choice but to try street shift again. because if you do buy the new rear sets, I guess it moves the stock foot pegs up an inch and back like 3/4 of an inch or something. So it's not going to be as comfortable. Let me get through this light. Hold on a second. So it's not going to be as comfortable per se. And that's the entire reason I want that bike, to have more comfort and just to be something I can cruise on and just relax a little bit more. I mean, will I miss that? Yeah, I'll miss it a lot. But at the same time, again, you just appreciate the new experience and, you know, enjoy what you have. I don't really know what I'm going to do with this video, if I'm even going to bother with too much. I mean, it's just kind of a parting video with my last ride with Susie, who my mom beautifully named, who's 90 with dementia, and she'll be 91 this month on the 28th, so she'll have to see a new Susie, a blue one that's a little bit more tame and not so ballistic like this guy. But it's been fun to experience the power. I mean, I don't think I need any more than this ever in my life again, and this is probably honestly too much for where I'm at in life. But I mean, this is probably going to have, I don't know, 100 horsepower less than the GSX1000R, but that's going to be a twin and be a little bit more torquey, and it is what it is. So again, just kind of appreciate the experience, and yeah, that's it. Make sure I'm recording. I think I am. And we'll cruise down the rural road. It's a pleasure to ride any of these bikes. I mean, this thing really is just a beautiful bike. I mean, I was contemplating the GSXR1000R because of the old school analog speedo and all that kind of stuff and no electronics, but I'm glad I was able to experience all of this, because it has been kind of cool just to know what it's about. You know, you live once, so why not experience it all? I mean, I did the old school stuff with no traction control and no electronics for a long time, so it's nice to kind of see what it's about. Right now, again, in C mode and traction control 1 and the quick shift mode 1, and really that's it. So it's not that crazy. It doesn't get in the way. You just kind of set it to where it's at and maybe change it from C mode to B mode or to A mode, and maybe go to traction control 1 to off to maybe a little bit higher. I've never actually had it higher than 1 and never really had an issue. I mean, I had this thing just on the way here to where I was getting coffee on one of the back roads to around 130, and the front wheel came off the ground when I was going over a little crest of a hill. So this thing still can get the front wheel off the ground with traction control set to 1, so be mindful of that. So let's go ahead and cruise. A beautiful day. Air temp's probably 79. I have my leather on, and you know, even some of the gear has changed since when I rode. I got jeans on that are, you know, lined with the Kevlar and all that kind of stuff. So that I don't even think existed back when I was younger. It was either jeans and leather and boots and stuff like that, and gloves and helmet, or, you know, full-on leather or whatever it may be. So yeah, I got Denisi gloves, Denisi leather, Denisi back protector, Alpine Star boots, these Kevlar jeans, and yeah, good to go, protected, feel safe. But even cruising on one of these roads, which is a more, you know, suburban 2-lane road or 4-lane road, I mean, this thing sounds so butter when you quick shift. And I mean, the way it maneuvers is just too freaking cool. I mean, it really is just badass having all the power, all the handling, all the braking you need. The ABS, if I jam on the rear brake, I can't even do anything other than brake. It's not gonna spit me over the handlebars if I hit the front brake, I mean, too hard. It's just super cool. But I mean, this bike is pretty rowdy, as I said multiple times. I think the rowdy is definitely what the R stands for in GSXR, because they're just a lot of fun. And I know people say stuff with GSXR owners, but this bike is a beautiful, refined motorcycle and a super blast to ride. I'll go ahead and pause it for now, and then when I get into the rural, I'll just kind of talk a little bit more and decide what I think is worthy talking about for my second to last ride home on this bike. So, see you in a second. Okay, so I made my turn, and I put it in the A mode. And that's really the way to experience this bike fully, is to have it in A mode. But it does tempt you to really want to get on it, but it just feels so cool. It just feels so cool knowing you could pass basically anyone on the road. You are pretty much in full control. You're pretty much the fastest bike or car on the road, and there is something that's super exhilarating about that. I mean, knowing basically nobody can stop me on the road other than myself or a helicopter is pretty badass. I know I'm not saying you should go crazy all the time, but it's just the knowledge, knowing you're one of the fastest vehicles on the road. It's kind of cool. I mean, especially when you know what you're doing, you know how to ride, you got everything dialed in. As I said, my rear tire is not looking great, so I know I'm limited, and I wouldn't just go ballistic on this thing, knowing that my bike is not where it needs to be and should be. So I'm not going to be an idiot and go 180 with my rear tire looking like it can come apart. So you got to really look at your bike, inspect it all the time, check your tire pressure, make sure your brakes are working the right way, keep, good gas in it, and just keep it maintained. So like right now, we got cars we may want to pass. And you could pass a lot of cars and a lot of traffic with any motorcycle because they're light and they usually have enough power to kind of get up and go. But something like a liter will definitely have gobs of power all over the place and just really, really works. I'm racing a golf ball right now. Whee! Golfer just hit a golf ball. Nice shot. Right down the... So this guy's turning. Maintaining self-control with these bikes, to me, is one of the most difficult things when riding a beautiful motorcycle. They just want to be ridden hard and fast, and it's just, I want to give that to Susie. Susie demands it, and she's beautiful, but you can't always do that. You don't want to always be looking over your shoulder while riding, Just cruise, enjoy beautiful weather like it is. It's a beautiful sky day. Ideally, with my new bike, I can put my drone on the bag on the back seat and go cruise around and grab a coffee and fly my drone and capture some footage and just kind of do more chill stuff and more chill rides than always wanting to go super fast. But before I really end the video, which I'm not going to do yet, because I want to just kind of talk when I get into the rural area on how fun it is. But know that this leader bike is a lot of motorcycle. It's not the most comfortable, but it's a ton of fun. And having the ride modes to kind of swap around and go A, B, C definitely does help keep this thing a bit more manageable and helps you with the self-control thing. So there's that. It's an amazing bike if you have another bike to kind of opt to ride on occasion. But, you know, you never feel bad getting on this bike, but you always feel like you want to go really fast when you're on this bike. So there's that. Which is why I said in previous videos, it's not the most relaxed bike, because it just kind of, you know, because it just kind of begs for you to jump on it and ride it like a missile, and yeah. So we'll pass this car really quick. My wrists definitely don't feel amazing on this bike. I'm hoping the new GSXR1000R will be more comfortable all around, but it is what it is. I mean, I definitely am one to like variety, so for me, having, you know, different stuff to ride and experience is really cool. And I'm just going to stay positive and look forward to that and try to not miss this bike too much and be grateful that I'm on something that's still kind of badass in a different way. But to be on a bike that's one of the most badass bikes on the road, the reality is, what I've noticed too, there aren't that many proper leader bikes or motorcycles on the road. You don't really see a ton of bikes that are super clean, super dialed in tune, look nice and not kind of new, and have a proper exhaust and all that kind of stuff. So I feel blessed to be on this thing because it is a super legit bike, and as you see, frickin' cool. Okay, let me jump down so I can actually not hit the car in front of me. Personally, I do like reverse shift too. I don't know why. I just like going down faster thing. So we'll see if I have to splurge on new rear sets for the new bike or not. I know there's always police over here, so pick and choose your zones where you just kind of chill. It's nice to shift without even needing to use the clutch. So that's another advantage of these newer bikes, having the quick shifter. I know the GSX-8R does have a quick shifter too, because I've test ridden them multiple times. It's not as smooth as this bike for sure, especially when you're blipping up the gears, but it still works pretty well and gives you that fix. So I'm glad when I jump onto the other bike, it's not going to feel horribly different, which is really why I wanted to have the reverse shift too, so I kind of didn't feel too much change happening. but we'll see what happens with that. Not a deal breaker. I can ride street shift if I have to. And now this is where the bike wants to come to life, in these back rural roads. And this is where I have a hard time maintaining self-control. So fifth gear right now. Fourth gear right now. This thing just wants to come to life and breathe and flex its muscles. And I want to give that to Susie. Susie deserves that. It's a beautiful day, nice temps. Not an amazing rear tire, so I won't go too crazy. I'll go into third gear right now, put on my signal. And just like that, you're experiencing a beautiful leader bike and the ability to pass basically anything on the road, which is completely awesome. But with that, you have to obviously be looking over your back a little bit more, or your shoulder, or whatever you want to say. You have to be, you know, thinking about getting a ticket or pulled over or a cop chasing you. So that's not necessarily fun either. This Akrapovic GP exhaust sounds pretty darn cool. Definitely need earplugs because your hearing will be blasted if you don't. So there's something to be said about a loud exhaust. It sounds awesome, but it also can kind of F with your ears, which isn't super awesome. So for some reason, I find myself going 66 miles an hour in sixth gear a lot. What's that about? Good girl, Susie. I'm not going to talk a ton towards some of the footage. I just want to basically show you the beauty of this GSXR1000R in the rural. This is essentially the same kind of vibe you get when you're on the expressway, because you got open roads. We got some farm equipment in front of us. Well, I could pass really quickly. And that's the thing, you get so comfortable being able to pass anything in all kinds of situations. People think it's kind of crazy, but this bike just has so much power and responsiveness that it can do what most things on the street can't. And the more you ride the bike, even though it's not a comfortable bike per se, you do kind of get used to it a bit. It's not going to be something amazing to ride far, but your body gets used to it. And we could pass kind of chill. Put on our signal. I love this road. There's a really nice sweeping turn up ahead, but there's a lot of kind of uneven pavement, so it really throws your suspension all over the place. So I'm sure people could rip on it. I try to go kind of quick, but also it's not worth crashing for a not totally ideal turn with pavement. Now watch this here. This is the ABS. So I'm going to come up to the turn. I'm going to come up to the stop sign, and I'm not even going to do anything other than jam on my rear brake. So my rear brake, the ABS is actually working right now, and I didn't lock up my rear brake at all. So kind of wild. You can't even skid this bike. It's a weird feeling, but it's a weird feeling when the ABS is kicking in like that, but at the same time, it's nice to know you're never locking your brakes up. So the ABS definitely thumbs up in my book for technology. So if you see the pavement on this road, there's a lot of little potholes and stuff, like right there. Cars coming like that, so you don't know if they're going to be in your lane or not. And I'm not going to take it too quick, so I don't think you should go above 130 with a tire like this. More farm equipment will wave. He didn't wave. That's not very kind. Come on, farmer. So when I come to this stop, I'm going to grab a bunch of front brake. Oh, the front wheel kind of came, the rear wheel kind of lifted maybe a teeny bit, like a couple inches, but definitely not as much as it would have if I really had no ABS on it. That would have been like 3 feet, 4 feet off the ground, kind of stoppy pressure. So that's it, guys. Just enjoy the ride for the moment and hear some pure GSXR1000R sound in A mode. Let's go.